You may feel something unusual when you read the subject of this video. Have you ever seen or heard that anyone creates professional reports in Office Word without writing codes? It is a common sense that we can only create professional reports in SQL Server Reporting Service, Office Access or Crystal Report, etc. But this video will show you that you can very easily create eye-catching professional reports in Office Word in a few minutes if you are familiar with using Office Word. You will feel that almost everyone can do it after watching this video. The only extra skill required is creating simple SQL select statements. I would like to introduce you a new awesome application, SmarterDocx. It integrates with Office Word seamlessly as a Word add-in application. It gives you the abilities to create tabular reports, matrix reports and data-heavy document templates without coding in Office Word. I will demonstrate how to use SmarterDocx to create a tabular report in a Word document in this video. There are 4 easy steps that you need to create a tabular report. Create data source objects. Create dataset objects. Create tabular report template table. Format data fields and test report. There is a SDocs tab in Word main menu. The SDocs tab is for the ribbon menu of SmarterDocx add-in. Now, you can see the ribbon menu bar of SmarterDocx add-in. The style and layout of the ribbon bar is very similar to other Word ribbon bars. Let's start to create a tabular report. First step, create data source objects. Data Source Wizard is the place to create the data source objects. Click on Data Source Wizard menu button. The system requires to save the document before creating the data sources. This is the welcome page of the Data Source Wizard. Click Next button. Because there is no existing data source that can be used, I will create a new data source for the report in this video. There are 7 types of data source available in current version. I use an Excel file as the data source for the report in this video. So, I select Excel as data source type. In order to create an Excel type of data source, the system needs Excel file path. Click on the Browse button to get the path of the Excel file. Select a spreadsheet of the Excel file. Click on Test Connection button. The date of the spreadsheet displays on the data grid if the connection was created successfully. Click Next button. Give a name to new data source object. Click Next button. Click on Finish button to save and close the Data Source Wizard. You can see new data source object in Data Sources pane. The properties of different data source type will be slightly different. One document template can have multiple data source objects. Second step, create dataset objects. Dataset Builder is the component to create dataset objects. Click on Dataset Builder menu button. This is Dataset Builder. The first thing that I need to do is to select a data source object for new dataset. There is only one data source which I just created. So, I select it. Give a name to new dataset. Click Query Text tab on the top. I paste a query into Query Text area. The select statement syntaxes are slightly different for different type of data source. You can find the details in SmarterDocx user guide. Here is the data source data on an Excel datasheet. Click on Parsing Query button. The parsing result will show in the area below the query text. Click on Query Details tab on the top. You can see the detail of tables, data fields, and parameters. Click on Test Query tab on the top. This tab is for testing query and displaying query result. Click on Execute Query button. On the pop-up parameter form, I will enter the values for start data and end data parameters. You should use the data format of the local culture in your PC settings. Click on Execute Query button. The data requested by the text query will display in the data grid on the form. Click Save button to save the dataset object. You can see the new dataset object in the Datasets pane. Third step, create Tabular Report Template Table. Tabular Report Template Form is the component to create Tabular Report Template tables. Click on Create Tabular Report Template menu button. This is Tabular Report Template Form. Give a name to new template. Click Add New Template button. Select a dataset for this template. All data field names are added to Dataset Data Fields list. Add Group Data Field names to Group Fields list. Add Normal Data Field names to Data Fields list. If you are familiar with Tabular Report, you know the differences between the step layout and the block layout tabular reports. I am going to create a block layout tabular report in this video. I select Block Layout option. I also select Add Group Footer option and Add Report Footer option. I want to sort group field data in ascending order. I also want to sort data by order date in ascending order. So, I tick Include Data Fields checkbox and set the ascending order for order date. Click Create Template Table button to create Report Template Table. Now, you can see the Report Template Table has been created. The Report Template Table has special tags to define the purpose of each row. Let's test the report template before I format the data fields. Click on Create Document menu button. I keep date range unchanged. Click on Create Document button. The application is validating document and starting to create the report. Okay. Here is the block layout tabular report. But the format of quantity and subtotal columns are incorrect. Step 4: Format data fields and test report. I have done some formatting changes to this tabular report template table. Let's start to change the format of data fields in the columns quantity and subtotal. The date field edit mode is disabled by default. Click on Edit Data Field menu button to enable the edit mode. The face of the button has changed. Edit Data Field menu button is a toggle button. You can't select anything on the document unless you disable the edit mode. Select a placeholder in quantity column. This is Data Field Details form. Select a right format and save the change. Select a placeholder in subtotal column. Select a right format and save the change. I have made changes to all other data fields. Click on Document Settings menu button. Change output document type to PDF and save the change. Click on Create Document menu button. I keep date range unchanged. Click on Create Document button. The application is validating document and starting to create new report. Do you think that you can create a report by yourself if someone or your boss asks you to create one? You can try it yourself by going to https://smarterdocs.com to download and install a copy of this add-in application in your PC. I have another 2 videos which show you how to use SmarterDocx to create matrix reports and data-heavy document templates without coding in Office Word. Thank you very much for watching this video.